Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for being present here today. I am Idam from Idam Infrastructure Advisory. I would just introduce our panelists here. Mr. Balawant Joshi from Idam Infra. He will be speaking on the rooftop solar today. And we have with us Ms. Vandana Rao from the Bollywood branch of NSWA, MahaSEWA, and Mr. Parthasarthi, also from MahaSEWA. So they will be speaking on the area of the topics which we have today. Now I pass on to you.
Good morning, everybody. Actually, it's a Sunday morning. You have all come here. Actually, it is very nice to see you. And before I put pause, solar is what we look forward. This seminar is organized by Idam Infrastructure Advisory Private Limited, joint with MahaSEWA. Idam is a solar advisory company which is represented by Mr. Balawant Joshi, Managing Director. Idam shall give a detailed presentation on their solar products and applications. MahaSEWA is an NGO involved in all kinds of activities related to cooperative housing society. It is in existence since almost 3 decades. It was founded by C.A. Ramesh Prabhu, as you all know, pioneering in getting the deemed compliance approved in the state government. He is the author of several books on deemed development, bylaws, RERA, etc. He is in various government policy making panels. MahaSEWA has many sister concerns, as you always have been in touch with, like legal, audit, administrative and others attached to it. Among many services, major services are related to legal consultancy, RERA, cooperative education and training, society audits and compliance. Society manager training, bylaw adoption and all the society related matters are also handled by MSW. And they have been doing very good service and it has been very interactive. Regarding MahaSEWA, if you have any queries, you will have a interactive section after this also, after the program is over. Then coming to what, how we were associated, like MahaSEWA has many sister concerns, as I told you. So the common area, both MahaSEWA and FIMAS have come together, is in the service of this housing sector, in delivering professional service. MahaSEWA was into CHS, providing services to the CHS. Similarly, FIMAS is also, I am coming from FIMAS. So we work together. They have Ramesh Prabhu felt that we have to cater to the public this side of the city, that is into the central suburbs, so that people don't need to travel all the way to western suburbs. So it is becoming very difficult for them to small queries. They have to refer there and send emails and all those things. So they said they suggested us we open a branch in Mulund, that is in our office, that is FIMAS Advisory Services. So there we have started giving the services. We are working together. MahaSEWA has been very supportive and we have been able to satisfy and cater to, and this was our aim in FIMAS also, that we have to cater to more of the housing societies, as we are providing housing society accounts also. So we came hand in hand. They are taking care of all the people. Now we are able to cater to many of them in the central suburbs very satisfactorily. That is what we are getting the feedback. So, and coming to FIMA's introduction, I would not like to take much of your time because you will be waiting for the presentation from Ms. Joshi, so which you have come for Rooftop, so that which you will be very eager to know. So, regarding the introduction regarding FIMA's, to begin with, FIMA's integrated management advisory services or accounting solutions delivery is a professional group coming with 100+ years of cumulative corporate experience, founded in the year 2012. And there has been no looking back from them. This was started mainly to cater to MSMEs and SMEs, particularly in the manufacturing sector. We have been successful in integrating the accounting and integrating the inventory, helping in costing of products. Many entrepreneurs come out saying that there has been more improvement in cash flow, although sales has increased. So FIMAS does an in-depth study into the past, present and books and help them in filling the gaps by providing practical solutions. The process developed by FIMAS has been streamlined. Our vision is to enable SMEs, business owners fulfill their vision. It is our endeavor that both MC members of CHS and the business owners enjoy their weekends with their families. That is why we are here. because every weekend they spend most time in solving society matters. So MCs, they feel frustrated. So we need to work towards it. So this is what we have been trying to relieve them from their pains. So also for SMEs who have been continuously into the churning this thing of running their business, and finally they feel इतना करके भी कुछ नहीं हो रहा है, so आगे नहीं बढ़ रहा. So that is why we are here to solve both of them. And therefore our tagline is your concern is our concern. It means to CHS also, where we take it as if it is ours. We work towards it. So here my husband and CSP Rao, ex-CFO of a subsidiary of Mahindra Group, and myself, ex-UBI, are founding partners of IDMAS. We have 3 other senior associates working with us. So you can contact us. Our details are given at the entrance as well as the brochures. Both of MahaSEWA as well as our representatives, both we are here. MahaSEWA Mulund East branch, we want to really make it more effective because the catering to CHS services has become a very important thing today with the compliance coming in full strength. And the RERA, particularly redevelopment part, all these things have been causing a lot of stress to people living in the housing societies. Moreover, we have to save on energy, for which we are trying hard. And this is one program which Mr. Joshi has come out and he has sponsored this. And thanks for him for having given, and we'll see how he will take. And we are here to support him and make this program a success. And his implementation into the societies has to go on with all your support, because this is what is going to benefit to mankind. So this one thing I would like to invite Mr. Joshi for taking ahead with this. Please, Mr. Joshi. Thanks. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. First of all, thank you very much for coming over here on Sunday morning. Idam Infrastructure Advisory is a consulting company, and we provide services into policy and regulatory consulting. Currently, we have been working in the renewable energy and the space for more than 2 decades, and into the solar rooftop space for nearly last 5 years. And in this particular space, we have been active in several states in the country. Currently, we are providing policy regulatory consulting services as well as the utility support services, IT solutions services in the rooftop sector in more than 15 states. And these states include large states such as Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, as well as the smaller UTs like Andaman, Nicobar, Lakshadweep, where the requirements of the solar rooftop or solar sector are quite different. Having said that, a little bit about this particular project. So this particular project has been supported by the MacArthur Foundation, which is an international not-for-profit organization based out of the United States. And the purpose of this project is not only the consulting from our side, but essentially what we want to do is that we want to open up the solar rooftop market in the country. Currently, the pain point for the solar rooftop, I'm not talking about only Bombay, but even outside Bombay, or primarily outside Bombay, is that how do we really fund solar rooftop projects into the cooperative housing societies? As you know, it's very difficult to get loan from the cooperative housing society. Is there any society which has taken loan from any bank in the for the cooperative housing society? Is there any society here? No. In fact, when we did survey of several societies, there is some research also in our presentation. We found that only 1 or 2 societies have been barely managed to take loan, okay, for any purpose in the society. Now, this is a one-time capital investment and significant capital investment, and many societies find it difficult to obtain the loan. So our idea is here, Vandana, I would like to do a small correction. I am not here to present a product or any service that we are offering to the societies, but here we are actually going to offer a service to at least 10 societies free of cost under this particular project and support societies in doing certain activities. And which are these certain activities? Essentially, what is the pain point for the society to go for solar rooftop? The first is to obtain loan. The second one is how do you engage the vendor
without creating any internal conflicts. Society boards, society committees, these are voluntary committees. Many a times people are accused of vested interest. We have seen the bigger societies even for allotting painting work, appoint a contractor or appoint a consultant first, and then consultant helps them getting the contractor. Similarly, for your plumbing work, where I live, for both plumbing as well as the painting contracts, we first appointed a consultant, paid him 1 lakh rupees, and then then he helped us identify the right vendors, right? So here, for 10 societies, we do this work free of cost. Okay, essentially help the societies in identifying the vendor for implementation of the solar projects. Why? Why we are doing free of cost? We are not doing free of cost for, we are doing it free of cost for you, but we are being supported by MahaSEWA Foundation. Okay, and why we are doing it is, we want to identify the 10 societies who are ready to borrow money so that we can prepare their loan applications, go to the banks, force banks, saying that look, this is the sector where you must fund, okay, where you must provide loans, and insist on banks to give loans to these societies. So our purpose is partly commercial, partly noble. Okay, the commercial because anyway we are doing it as a part of the consulting contract with the MahaSEWA Foundation, and we hope that once we do it for 10 societies, it will open up market. The banks will get confidence that okay, the solar projects can be implemented in societies. We have had discussions with several banks, and the banks in their loan products, they have mentioned that they can provide loans to the society, they can provide loans to the residential category, but frankly enough, nobody is doing it. Okay, we have had a discussion with several RESCO companies, essentially who provide the solar rooftop services to the societies or SMEs or for industries, but none of them have been able to borrow money for this project. Okay, so as I said, the first slide, we are working with the MahaSEWA Foundation, and as a part of this project, we are offering this service to the societies over here. We want to install, we want to help with the installation of these 10 systems into the solar category, into the housing societies. We have been soliciting expression of interest, so you would have also received an email from us saying that if your society is interested, there is certain pro forma that we have described, as certain conditions that we have described. In fact, you will see on the left-hand side, there is the eligibility criteria mentioned. We want to have at least 3,000 square feet shadow-free area, or if your society has got around 4,000 square feet total terrace area, 4,000 to 4,500, we expect around 3,000 square feet to be the shadow-free area. Okay, what is the importance of shadow-free area? I will come into my presentation subsequently. The building should not be more than 20 years old, or at least should have 25 years of remaining life. Okay, because the solar rooftop systems, their life is typically 25 years. Okay, so if the system has to last for 25 years, well, building life should be at least 25 years. Should be the solar rooftop, the roof should be encumbrance free. Essentially, many societies have got mobile towers, and mobile towers cast shadows. And as soon as there is a shadow, the generation drops. Okay, so there should not be any similar thing on the rooftop, or even if it is there on the rooftop, if it is on the northern end of the rooftop, still that can be worked out, because if it is on the northern end, the shadow is less. Because as you know, we are in the northern hemisphere, so the likelihood of the sun going north of us, and because of that shadow coming and the generation loss, the chances are less. As I said, rooftop should not be occupied by other utilities. Society should have excess of income over expense. Okay, what we are saying, you may not have sufficient funds, okay, to sufficient funds to install the system, but at least there should be the income over expense, so that there is a small excess being generated within the society. And finally, from our project perspective, the important is that society should be ready to borrow money, at least some part of the money, because what we want to do is that we just don't want to provide support, we want to ensure that the banks lend money to the sector, which is not happening today. We have had a meeting with RBI, okay, several meetings with RBI. RBI said there is no bar in providing loans to the societies. If you see, we have a couple of banks, they say, okay, we will provide loans to society, but they will do it under some reason or other. So we want to ensure that lending starts happening. If it happens for 10 societies, I am sure that other banks also will get confidence. In fact, the same bank will get confidence to lend to the this particular. There could be some teething problems in terms of the security creation, in terms of some guarantee requirements, so we need to resolve these issues. We have already had some discussions with MNRE, and MNRE is trying to come up with some kind of a guarantee scheme for the societies, but still it is very difficult. So, what are the challenges in implementation of the solar rooftop? First of all, it's a high capital cost, and the second is lack of access to finance. Okay, so the systems would cost. I will come to the numbers a little later in terms of the cost of the system as well as the rupees per unit. Okay. But the systems would cost anywhere between 50,000 rupees per kilowatt to 65,000 rupees per kilowatt. Please don't go by the numbers which appear in the newspaper. Those are little misleading in the current context. Limitations in technical know-how in terms of feasibility. I will tell you there are at least 100 plus solar panel suppliers in the country. Okay, there are at least 35-40 domestic manufacturers in the country. They produce panels with extremely large variation in quality. Okay, and I don't expect, barring a few societies, other societies to have a capability. Okay, unless granted there is someone who is a solar PV specialist or has worked in an EPC company who knows how to select the panels and inverters. I don't expect the many societies to have that capability to select the appropriate vendor and ensure the quality. Okay, so that's the second challenge that we see very often. Difficulties in assessing the competency. One is the complication. See, remember the solar rooftop is an engineered product. It's an engineering system. It's a project. Okay, it is unfortunately still not saying that okay, I want a 1.5 ton AC, so I just go to Chroma or go to Vijay Sales and purchase an AC and install that. Okay, it is still a little away from that. There are some efforts which are going on in that direction, but those efforts are still for 1 kilowatt, 2 kilowatt, 3 kilowatt system. As soon as we talk about the rooftops, different orientations of rooftops, some rooftops are north-south, some rooftops are north-south, southwest, southeast, all kinds of directions, and especially in the new buildings which we see, the kind of elevation they have on the top, or the kind of structures which they have. If anyone has gone to the Idam while great set of buildings, but most of those buildings are useless from the installation of the solar rooftop. Okay, so that's a challenge. One needs to be really cognizant of the issues which are involved in actually designing the rooftop system. Issues in getting timely approvals, net metering approvals. See, first of all, many people don't know, many even solar developers don't know what kind of approvals are required. Excuse me. Then there are certain building permissions that are required. In certain cases, the building permissions are required, in certain cases, building permissions are not required. If you look at in BMC, the building permission is required if the tip of your solar rooftop system is more than 1.8 meter from your roof, or ground of the roof, or the flooring of the roof. Okay. So, but other cases in Pune, there are the system requirements are very different because those are dependent on the rules set by that particular municipal commission. Release of subsidy in a timely manner, that's a challenge, and I think nobody has an answer. Not even me. Okay. Opportunities, in terms of the opportunities for cooperative housing societies, I believe there are immense. First and foremost, today you are not doing it because it is environment friendly or a green gesture. Today there is a pure commercial reason. Okay. So in my view, it is very easy to convince within your management committees to go for solar. Today, the cost of generation from the solar project is bound to be less than your tariffs. I will come to the comparison later. Currently, at least for next 3-4 months, I am assuring you, there is a good net metering regulation. If your societies are considering to go for solar, please do it urgently, immediately. The net metering regulation will change. I will come to the net metering regulation later. Subsidy scheme. There is a subsidy scheme which the government is in the process of announcing right now. They have an initial announcement before the election in March 2019. The guidelines are under preparation and the final guidelines are likely to be issued in the next month or so. So So, but there is a subsidy scheme only for 4,000 megawatt all over India. So I expect the Maharashtra to get 200 or 250 megawatt of quota. Okay. So this is the only quota that will be available. After 250 megawatt of this, there won't be any subsidy available. So if you want to go for it, do it quickly. Contribute towards greening the environment. See, if I would have been making this presentation 5 years back, I would have put the greening the environment as the first thing, saying that okay, you are going to green the environment, so please do it. Okay, but it's no more, it's a fourth. There are all other reasons, solid commercial reasons to go for it. Effective utilization of rooftop. Most of the high rises in Bombay, the roofs are sealed, actually at least locked. Only the security has got a key who goes there only to check the water level. Right? And because you can't allow, there are so many other dangers of allowing the rooftops to be used by anybody. So it is locked, so it's actually useless. In fact, at 16th floor, 17th floor, you don't even conduct any events. Means if you go towards little away from Bombay, WD, Kalyan or beyond, the 4th story building, the roofs are still used for some society events. Today, no society event takes place on a roof. Right? So those which can run on solar, practically today any load can run on solar. Okay, but the best way to use the solar is the common load, your elevators, your pumping, your common area lighting load, your staircase lighting load. So a lot of these load can be easily taken over by the solar person. There are two business models over here, capex as well as the opex business model. Some people want to go for capex, especially the entities which have got funds. Okay, as a part of the development fund, they want to go for capex because anyway on your money you are not going to get more than 6%. Right? So they want to go for capex, but the societies which are older, see this is the phenomena that huge money being received from the developer is last 10 years, 12 years phenomenon. Right? So but the society which have been created before that, they don't have so much funds. So they want to go for the OPEX model. Of course, there is a challenge because as soon as you don't have funds, your credit rating goes down. Okay, so there are multiple entities, there are quite a few respondents who said they want to go for capex. Obviously, many people wanted to go for OPEX for one simple reason: it takes away the responsibility because you don't have to be bothered from the cost of installation and you don't have to bother the O&M opportunity. So the beneficiary benefit point of view, that's the best way to utilize your own. And this challenge I come across even today. Okay, one is solar water heaters. In fact, if you go towards Thane, the Thane Municipal Corporation had come up with a requirement that every society must install solar water heaters. So many a times, people, when we talk about the solar, they think we are talking about the solar water heaters. We are not talking about solar water heaters which are shown on the left hand side. They would typically look like that. There are multiple technologies in that. But I am not talking about the solar water heaters. I am talking about solar rooftop systems which are photovoltaic systems which generate electricity. Okay, so what we are talking about is solar PV, and simply from the point of view that it gives you the better utilization of fuel. It's aside that it takes away a bigger problem which is associated with the solar water heaters, because the solar water heaters typical challenge is that how do you do the equal distribution of hot water among all the platforms. I have heard this complaint quite often. वो पहले माला वाला है वो गर्म पानी के अंदर चालू करके छोड़ देता है, पूरा hot water goes west, and no hot water available to anybody else. So the solar photovoltaic, because it's electricity generation, it gets connected to the grid, it's utilized by everybody. It's the meter which is actually measuring point and which allows you the commercial benefit across all society, all platforms. In terms of solar potential, there is a lot of misconception, and in terms of the solar generation potential and temperatures. Okay, if you see this particular graph, you would see India that the darker the side, the higher the solar PV generation potential. Okay, and you will notice it is not directly related to the temperatures. Where Rajasthan has got more solar potential, it is not only because of its it has got very high temperature, but it has got a direct solar radiation. Okay, so the temperature is different. In fact, as the temperature increases, the solar generation from the same capacity of modules goes down. Okay, so the thermal coefficient actually causes solar photovoltaic generation to go down as the temperature goes up. So if you see, if the area is cold, okay, and there is a direct generation, so where is the maximum solar potential in the country? Do you know? It is there in Ladakh, right? Why? Because there is no pollution, there is a direct solar radiation, okay, lower temperatures, so you get maximum generation, and that's the reason there is a maximum solar generation potential in Ladakh in terms of the per square kilometer area, okay, not in Rajasthan. Also, while we talk about solar, you have to remember that while solar works, solar doesn't need water, but you need water to clean solar panels. There is a lot of pollution in the city of Mumbai or anywhere in the country. If we talk about Delhi, it has got a different kind of pollution, but it's still a lot of pollution. So you need to clean the panels, and for that you need water. Okay, and the panels are required to be cleaned once in 7 days to 10 days in the city of Mumbai. Okay, if you are in Rajasthan side, you need to clean them more frequently because of the sandstorm, sand getting settled on the panels. Okay, as urban density increases, the cleaning requirement also increases. You will be surprised, and you will be surprised. The reason for that is the sole primary reason is a pigeon shit. Okay, whenever there is a pigeon shit on the panel, you need to clean it, and pigeon shit doesn't go away very easily. You need to scrub it, and for that, a lot of water is required. So this is the second requirement. But the purpose for showing this particular chart is that India has got a good potential, but not the best. Okay, you will see a lot of parts of America, okay, which is Northern America, or what we call it the West Coast. That is California, north of California, because the potential is much more. South Africa, potential is much more. Okay, even though it's a desert region, the direct solar radiation is there. Okay, nice. Coming to India, you can clearly see where there is a maximum potential. Large part of Himalayan region has got a very high potential, while there is a good potential in Rajasthan, quite a good potential in Bombay and other regions as well. Okay. We need to make use of this potential that is available. If we go by the general numbers, in fact these numbers were calculated by us in 2007 when we prepared the vision document for the government of India for the solar. And our basic estimate said that 750,000 megawatt of solar potential exists in the country. Subsequently, there has not been any further studies carried out on that. But if you look at the newer technologies that have come up, okay, I am 100% sure that 750,000 megawatt would have gone to 1,000 megawatt of 1 lakh power. The government of India, when the Modi government came into power last time, the first term of the government. The government increased the target for solar rooftop to 40,000 megawatt and carried out a lot of good initiatives in terms of auctions to reduce the prices. Just because of the total target which was given of 100,000 or 1 lakh megawatt, there was a lot of demand in the country. Many people came in, many players came in, and that brought down the prices. But for the rooftop alone, the target given by the government is 40,000 megawatt. And 40,000 megawatt by 2022. But as against that, the current installed capacity is less than 4,000 megawatt. And the government is concerned about the same, and that's the reason this particular scheme is going to come into play only for residential and cooperative societies rooftops for subsidy, which is only for 4,000 megawatt. And I suspect that Maharashtra would not get more than 250 megawatt or 300 megawatt at max. And if you look at against this 250 or 300 megawatt, the potential, there is a slide I think in the presentation, the potential in Bombay for rooftop carried out by IIT Bombay is 1300 megawatt. Okay, so 1300 megawatt of rooftops can come only in Bombay, and the total subsidy available would be only 250 to 300 megawatt at max. Okay, so what would be the quantum of generation? There is again a little bit of confusion in terms of if you put a 1 kilowatt system, you expect somewhere between around 4.5 units per day kind of a generation. So 1450 or 1500 units is something that you would expect from the solar system in a year of 1 kilowatt system. So in terms of the targets which have been given to the different states by the central government, you will see clearly the target given to the Maharashtra is the maximum. The target given to the state of Maharashtra is 4,700 megawatt, and the reason for them is not difficult to understand. It's first of all, it is an affluent region, so we can afford solar rooftops. The second reason is the tariffs in Maharashtra for the residential category are the highest, especially for the cooperative housing societies or the multi-family apartments, what we call it. The second highest level of target has been given to Uttar Pradesh. Okay, the primary reason, it's a wide, vast area, small houses, lot of energy requirement, and then there are targets which have been given to other states, including Rajasthan 3,500 megawatt, then the Gujarat 3,200 megawatt, so on and so forth. In terms of installations, this is a little dated data, end of 2018. We still don't have the latest data either for March or June 2019. But this data is sufficient for us to give indication of where the solar rooftop systems are getting installed. Maharashtra is ahead of everybody with 473 or more than 500 megawatt today. Okay. Large quantum of these particular systems are being installed into industrial category, but there are residential category systems also. If you look at the right hand side, the tabulation that has been given, the commercial has got around 800 megawatt of solar rooftop systems in the country, close to 1600 in the industrial category, public sector is 500 megawatt, another 500 megawatt into the residential category. But if the solar rooftop has to go a big way, a lot of systems will be required primarily into the residential category. Okay, now let me start, or let me give a little bit of about what are the challenges with the solar rooftop systems, what are the types of the solar rooftop systems, what are the types of the roofs, okay, and how it becomes a little complicated engineering system and just not simply a getting quotes and installing the system. If you look at the flat roof, there would be on the left hand side, this is the flat roof, but this flat roof is not of the residential society, but this flat roof is of the more like an industrial gala types buildings, okay, where there is no parapet wall, which usually exists in all residential societies. Okay, so the rooftops would be plain. If you see you can see the building behind, or in the middle picture. This is also in Bombay. It's a flat, it's a kind of a slanted roof, and the various systems have been installed. Here, the first step of the systems will require a lot of structural steel. That system, you don't require so much of structural steel, but you still require a foundation upon which the solar rooftop system can be installed. And if you see the leftmost, it's an elevated roof structure in Bombay. Again, all the three pictures are from Bombay or Maharashtra in Bombay. The third one is the elevated roof structure because it was the small society, only 3 flats per floor and 2 flats of 2 BHK, 1 flat of 1 BHK, and a very typical structure of staircase and elevator in the middle. So half the side of the solar, half the side of the roof was getting wasted. Okay, so the solution was to elevate the entire roof, and you can see that it is nearly 4-meter tall roof that has been installed, and the system has been installed on top of it. There are different challenges for those kind of systems. Different kind of wind loads are there, which have to be taken care of. If you would have seen photographs, there is a likelihood that if the systems are not installed properly, the panels would fly off. There have been several instances even in this monsoon where the panels have just got disconnected from the structure and have flown and come down on the road. You can imagine if it comes down on the road and hitting someone's head, it's a 25 kg weight of each panel, right? So this is all the 3 systems need to be designed separately, need to be looked at from the structural point of view separately. That structure, a core type of structure. No, the last one. Okay, that structure will require a core of BMC. Okay, you can't see it from here, but I think I have seen this particular one. Okay, but what the rule says, the floor of this particular roof is somewhere here. So if it is more than 1.8 meters from here, you need an approval from DLC. Or priority approval, not post priority. Other rooftop systems you just need to inform about the installation of rooftop systems to DMC after you have installed. Here you need to opt in. The concern of the DMC is different. They don't want people to create extra FSI under the garb of solar. They to put up a permanent roof first. Okay, quite a few buildings have done the permanent roof just to avoid the leakage problem. And then subsequently install solar rooftop. But I will tell you the challenge on that. Okay, then the structure should be able to take the weight of the permanent roof as well as the solar rooftop or the rooftop panels. Secondly, there should be a mechanism or way for someone to go on top of the roof and clean the panels without having any hazard and clean this. See, because if you see that particular roof, you will see those 4 openings. Okay, so those openings have been created to ensure that the person is able to clean the panels. So there is a ladder which is there. Suppose this is the size of the roof. So the ladder is here. Okay, when that person falls off the ladder, he will fall only on the roof. Okay, so and if you are creating the roof to avoid the leakage, there is not going to be something like this. So one will have to take care of all those issues while designing the roof.
The whole idea is that the BMC or TMC gives permission to have a permanent roof also.
That you have to ask architects. I have seen it at a couple of places, but architects or this contractors who do that. I have no idea.
There is a restriction of height on the parapet wall.
Yeah, there is some restriction on height, and that's the reason if it is less than 1.8 meters, they just give permission. You don't need permission, you need to inform. Yeah. Yes, sir. No, it can be done.
Because indirectly transfer it correct. How long it takes again depends on the construction.
Correct.
Someone might
Yes, sir.
each someone take it for
Okay, so moving forward. So typically, what are the components of the solar system? Many times the component which is the structure is neglected. That's the reason I showed the structure earlier. Okay, what is the importance of the structure that goes into the solar system? But apart from panel, you have got junction box. This is everything is okay, but inverter, net meters. Okay. Another important part which has not been shown in this particular thing is especially for the housing societies which are tall, is a lighting arrestor. Okay, lighting arrestor is extremely crucial for any high-rise building. Currently, you have lighting arresters, but those lighting arresters are not useful for solar systems. As soon as you put up a solar system, you have to remember you put something which is charged on top of the roof, right? The solar rooftop solar, the panels are charged. So the ability of the panels to attract any other charge is significantly different than your inner building. Okay, so the lighting arrestor is oft neglected item, but which is very important in any kind of a solar rooftop system. Next. There are challenges in terms of maintenance practices, maintenance requirements. But as I said, in Mumbai, you must have high pressure water connection on the roof to be able to clean it. You shouldn't put the roofs, where there is the panel has got, you can't reach even to the broom. Okay, so you can't put panels which are one on top of another 4 panels. Many times you see those kind of systems. Like there are 4 panels put on top of another, somebody will have to stand and then clean those systems. Those systems won't get clean. Okay, they can't be cleaned properly with that kind of system structures. If you see the bottom picture, I have seen this. In fact, I have another clip on my mobile where I have seen in Mumbai, a building next to my office, someone climbing on the panels to clean the panel. Okay, while the panel won't crack immediately, but certainly the micro cracks will get developed into the solar PV system. Okay, underneath the panel there is film which exists. Certainly the micro cracks will get developed. So this is the issue. Also, what we need to do is that the inverters need to be maintained regularly. Those DC junction maintained regularly. Then all other, any other engineered system, the way you need to do the O&M, quite a few of you must be working in factories. Where electrical systems appear to be healthy all the time till fire takes place. Right? So one need to do the maintenance on a regular basis. Yeah.
Is there any cleaning system, automatic cleaning system is available?
Automatic cleaning systems are available in the market, but those are not viable for the rooftop systems. Also, one has to remember that automatic cleaning systems are like moving robotic arms. So the moving robotic arms require a standard size, standard design of the system. So those systems are feasible for 200 megawatt, 100 megawatt, but not for the 50 kilowatt systems that we are talking about. It requires typically at least 200 panels in a row, so that you put it at one place, it goes cleaning till the end. Those don't exist. What we see over here, typically at best 8 to 10 panels are there. Also, many a times the installation of the panels, there will be slight difference in alignment, because sometimes there will be the water pipe which is going beneath. So you need to change a little bit of alignment. There would be those septic tanks pipes are there to ensure that there is no shadow from that. So those robotic arms or those automatic cleaning solutions are for the rooftop systems I have not come across. Those typically exist for the large solar systems. Thank you. I think, yeah.
Any CFO requirement?
Any?
CFO, Chief Fire Officer?
No. No chief fire officer requirement for this particular plant. No pollution control board requirement for the plant. Yeah. So no industry permit is required for the plant. So no, but those permissions are not required. Yeah.
Is there any recurring expenditure when the system is installed?
Recurring expenditure every month, at least twice cleaning. Okay. And that cleaning would cost you anywhere between per cleaning for a 50 kilowatt system, 1500 to 2000 rupees.
Any AMC to be implemented?
It depends on you. If you are doing it in CapEx, you can have AMC with your CapEx contractor, or you can separately enter into AMC with other entities, companies which are there in the market. Okay. If it is an OPEX project, then probably the OPEX operator will